Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. After knowing the meaning or the concept of volunteering, of voluntary work in Islam, here are some verses from Quran in which Allah mentioned the value and mainly the areas of volunteering in Islam. I'm going to share with you now 3 verses. These are not all the verses that we have about the areas of volunteering, of course, but they are just examples. I'll start by the first ayah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. Help you one another in righteousness and piety, but help not one another in sin and rancor or aggression. This is Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 2. In here, in this ayah, we can understand one of the areas of voluntary work, which is to cooperate in good, to help others, cooperation with others, helping others in their matters, in their work, in different things, whenever they need a help, whenever they need a hand to be lent to them, you have to be there for them without seeking any financial consideration. And voluntary work can be considered as an act of worship if we volunteer to do good and not to do bad. Ayah number 2, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. In this ayah, which means, and they feed for the love of Allah, the indigent, the orphan, and the captive. So here, Allah also gave us different areas of voluntary work, that is to feed the poor or the needy, to also feed the orphans, and to feed the captive. Okay, so feeding, helping in these small material things like feeding, giving money, giving clothes, etc. This is also another area, another manifestation, let's say, or aspect of volunteering in Islam. The last ayah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَافْعَلُوا الْخَيْرَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. And do good that you may prosper. In this ayah, actually, we can understand 2 things. One is one area of volunteering, and the second is its benefits or its reward. So one area here is to do, here in this area, Allah was, talking about volunteering in general. He did not specify an area, an exact area, but he said, do good. Do good in general. Any act, anything, any deed that you are convinced it's good for the others, any deed that is beneficial for the other, helpful for others in the good sense, that can be a voluntary area. Okay, and here the benefit of it is to prosper, is to succeed in this dunya, in this life, and later in the hereafter. Here, this is a mind map in which I try to put some examples of areas of volunteering. We'll take them one by one and just will explain it shortly. I can start by sponsoring voluntary organizations. Means you don't have, an act to do actually, but you want to volunteer. It's enough just to give money to other organizations to sponsor them, to help them and assist them in volunteering. So they will take the money from you and they will use it to benefit others. And every organization, as you know, has its service, has its function, and has its duties. The second point is blood donation. Blood donation, you know that some hospitals need our blood to, to help others survive. So blood donation can be a voluntary work. I can give my blood, I can donate my blood without having money in return. I can also volunteer in an environmental way. How? By cleaning my environment, cleaning your streets, helping, in thinking about projects that help to improve the environment where you are staying. We also have the medical aid. If you are a doctor, for example, and not during your work time, but even, in all the time, if you face to find someone, who is really need in your aid, in your medical interference, as a doctor, as a nurse, you have to do it to make that person survive, to make him cure or cover without seeking any financial consideration, as we said. Suppose you are driving on the street and you come across an accident, the people there need your help. You have to interfere at any time, whether during your work time or after. We also have the civil defense. Civil defense, it also, means your help to help, all the components of the society when interfering to help others, whether in the streets, the traffic, medical aid, etc. For education, this is a very wide area in which we can volunteer. We can teach others, we can teach language, we can teach Quran, we can teach for the sake of Allah, volunteer without seeking a financial consideration, and I repeat, always without seeking any financial consideration. This is the main criteria, let's say, of voluntary work. It has to be for free. It has to be for the sake of Allah, for the sake of helping others. And here, as a last point, but it's not the last area, these are just examples. So as a last point here, be in the service of elderly and disabled. Suppose you have your neighbors who are old, who cannot serve themselves in their own. You can shop for them. You can spend time with them just to make them feel comfortable and ease, and help them in their needs. So this is also an area in which you can participate, in which you can volunteer for the sake of Allah. Try now to find more areas of volunteering, and try not only to find, but try to give a hand on one of the areas that you can do or that you like.